Hey everyone. Okay, so I'm hoping my baby will stay sleeping for a minute. He has not slept all day. Um, so I've been getting lots of questions and messages and just concerns from people about just feeling down and out and kind of in this blah phase in their business. Either you're hearing a lot of rejections, you're hearing lots of no's, you feel like you're running out of people, whatever it may be. I want to take a minute just to speak to you and kind of give you some encouragement slash tips and things that I'm sure you've probably heard before, but hopefully they can just serve as a good reminder for you again, and just help you to feel a little bit more encouraged. We all go through seasons in our business and in life where we feel like we're really successful, and then other times where we feel like we're just in this down phase. And that's just how it goes. But I just want to encourage you with your business because, and know that you're not alone. I myself and other top coaches even have times like that where they feel like they're really on fire, and other times where they feel like they're still just kind of struggling through and they need to, aren't finding the people that they're wanting, or, they're not reaching out to their network as well as they could be, or they're not hearing the responses back that they want. So, first of all, I just want for you to know that you're not alone in feeling that way. But I just want to kind of encourage you and give you some tips and pointers and things that I know have helped me, and also other things that I've talked to with other leaders in our team, just encouragement that they give to their teams and to their coaches. So hopefully this will kind of meet you wherever you are and help you feel a little bit more encouraged, and just kind of give you the chance to kind of get your feet back under you and get excited about your business again, because you're here because you love helping people, and I know that there's a reason why you started this business. So I want for you to remember that. But most of all, remember that this is a planting the seed business. It's built on building relationships over time. This is not a get rich quick, or, find people really quick and all of a sudden you're making all this money. Yes, maybe there are a few coaches out there who right off the bat were really successful, and that's awesome for them. But the other 90% of us, that's not how it is. It takes time. You have to build relationships. You've got to plant the seeds. And it takes a while before you start to see that beautiful plant start growing, just as it is when you're creating relationships with people. You can't just expect to say, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. You want to buy this challenge pack? It doesn't work that way. People might come to you ready already, but there's a lot of times where you're having to build that relationship with them over the course of time. So I really encourage you to reach out to people, be sending those messages. I know it may seem redundant, and a lot of times maybe you don't get responses from those messages. Follow up. There's one thing I've learned. I was so nervous about following up with people when I started as a coach, because I didn't want to seem pushy or salesy. And I'm telling you that if you come to them in a humble way, in a non-threatening, trying to shove something down their throat kind of way, they're not going to feel pressure at all. If they're not ready, they're not ready, and they're going to tell you that. And there might be people who never respond. But if you approach it as a way of, hey, I just wanted to check back in with you. I'm going back through my list of people, or, you were just on my mind today. I know we talked a few days ago. Just wanted to make sure I followed up with you, because I don't want you to miss out, or I don't want to forget you, or, however you want to phrase it. Does that sound like I'm trying to, sell you something? No, it sounds like I'm actually caring about you and trying to reach out and make sure that you get involved. If you showed me that you were interested at some point, then that means that at some other point you actually are going to finally take the plunge, whether it's today, tomorrow, or a year from now. So just remember that. Remember that this is a total planting the seeds business, that you are going to have to spend time planting those seeds, and then just waiting to see what happens. Water them, nurture them, talk to people, send messages, comment on their things. You can't expect to send one message and then for them to never see you post on their wall, or like a picture, or comment on anything. Or if you're on Instagram, you never like any of their pictures, and then all of a sudden, they just hear one message from you, and they never hear back from you. That doesn't let them feel like you're creating a relationship with them, or like you actually care about them. So think about that and kind of, take that to heart, and think about, what do you do in your business? Are you coming back around full circle? Are you commenting, and are you, investing in their life and letting them see that you actually care about them and that you know who they are? And if not, then maybe that's something that you can work on. that would help to kind of build some relationships, and also, make a better name for yourself too. Let them really see who you are, that you are a caring individual, and that you do, you know who they are, and that you are investing in their life, as you're wanting them to invest in yours. The next thing I want to remind you is to remember your why. We talk about this all the time, but I'm telling you guys, we talk all the time, and Micah and some of our other top coaches, they share about how if your why does not make you cry, then it's not good enough. It's not powerful enough. Your why you're doing this. Some of you maybe are just hobby coaches and you are just kind of doing it on the side, and that's awesome. But for those of you who are doing this as a business, and you are wanting to get out of a job, or you're wanting to really create financial freedom for your family, or whatever it may be, your why needs to be powerful, and it needs to be something that is the driving force behind why you're doing what you're doing. For me, I was teaching and I was liking it, but I also was not feeling fulfilled. I was exhausted after long days, and I was just feeling frustrated, and thinking ahead for my family. We were going to have our baby, and I did not want to be doing what I was doing, spending what felt like, between 12 and 13 hours a day away from the house. It was just too much, and I knew that I didn't want that for my family. And so I knew that for my husband and for my son, and just for my own sake, for my own happiness, that something needed to change. That is my why. I have worked my butt off for 10 months trying to get to where I am today, and now I am able to be where I wanted to be. I'm able to be home with my son and not stressed out teaching every day and driving really, really far. My why makes me want to cry almost. It's so powerful. It is the force behind why I work so hard, why I worked my teaching job, and why at every single little break that I had, I was working and answering messages and sending messages and posting, and getting to work early so that I could do my other job, my Beachbody, and staying up late with my husband, while he watched TV, and I would, work and do trainings and stuff at night, just because I so badly knew what I wanted. And that is why I worked so hard. No matter what, whether I was getting good responses or not, I was in this because I know that it's possible to be successful if I just stuck to the little tiny details of every day that that we learn to do, and it's tedious and it's not all that glamorous all the time, but it works. And you have to stick to it. And I promise that it will bring results if you are really, really consistent and constantly remembering why you're doing this. You're not here for the money. Yes, that is such a huge and awesome part of being a coach, that you can bring in some extra income, and that it could be, the avenue to which gets you out of debt, or brings you home, or brings your husband home, or whatever. My husband and I have huge dreams for what we hope for our family, with my Beachbody income, but it takes time. And your why is something that can really, really encourage you in the times where you feel just kind of down in that valley, where you're just like, oh, I feel like no one is answering me. But know that all of those no's are people that are watching you. Every single no that you get, every single maybe, or every single not answered response, but you see that they actually saw the message, that's at least putting you on their radar. They are following you. They know what you're doing. They know what you're all about. And at some point, then they're going to come back around, and they might be the people that join you as a coach or as a challenger, months down the road. I had plenty of people who I was talking to really, really early on as a coach, really hoping that they would, come through, that they would be a challenger. And just now, 10 months later, they're joining as coaches or challengers, people who have been watching me for months, people on Instagram who I don't even know. And then they reach out and say, I've been following you for months. That's consistency. They have been seeing my life shared over the course of all of these months, because I haven't let up. I haven't let go. I've continued to share. Sorry, my screensaver keeps going on. I've been continuing to share over all these months, no matter what, if it was a good month or a bad month. So I just want to encourage you with that too. If you're focusing on your why in the midst of all those no's and all the maybe negative feedback that you get, it's worth it. It's so, so worth it. Okay, what else? I'm looking at my notes of things. Okay, focus on what's going good right now. What is your business can all be bad. It's not all negative right now. So think about what in your coaching career and your coaching journey is going good. What are you gaining from coaching? For me, the personal development and the transformation that I have in myself physically and emotionally and just spiritually and mentally is so powerful, and I would stick to coaching just for that. I did join for just that. I joined to hold myself more accountable and to help people along the way, and this has become more than I ever could have imagined, just from having my network of coaches and also from having challengers and people that I get to meet and work with and who have followed me for months into different groups. But focus on the good that you're seeing. What kind of transformation have you seen personally, physically, emotionally? How does coaching make you feel? When you're sitting here working, what do you feel like? For me, it doesn't even feel like work. It's so exciting to me. The days that I start getting stressed out or I get overwhelmed, I put my computer away. I did not do this job for me to be frustrated or overwhelmed. So the second that I'm having a day where I feel like that, I just put it away and I take a couple hours and I come back to it, because then my head is cleared and I'm back to the mindset of where I'm like, yes, I love my job. This is so awesome. I'm getting to work on my own hours. I have the flexibility to have a bad day and to step away for a couple hours and then come back. And my work is just sitting there waiting for me, and people are continuing to reach out and share and see my journey as well, and the ability just to be real about it too, talk about having a bad day. That kind of stuff is so powerful to people because they get to feel like you're a real person. They get to hear your life and, and see your story. And that's so huge. So I want for you to just to think about what success you are having right now, whether you're having success in challenge groups or people are losing weight, those are all really great things and really amazing things that you are helping people to do. So focus on some of the successes in the midst of all the no's and the negative, or the low parts of your business, because I guarantee you that there are positives going on as well. So really make sure that you focus on that too, because there's so much positive involved in this business, and even in the midst of some of the negative. One other thing too with just the consistency factor is, as far as social media goes, make sure that you really create a name for yourself. You want to create a good reputation for you. So when people are commenting on your post, answer them back. So on Facebook, there's the little reply button. Make sure that you always respond to people's comments, even if it's like, you look great, or maybe like 10 people said the same thing. That's okay. Say thank you 10 times. Go through and comment on their posts. That way they see that you are interacting with them, that they're not just another comment, that you're actually reaching out and saying, hey, I'm noticing you. Thank you. I appreciate your comment. And they're going to be more apt to continue to reach out to you and maybe end up reaching out or answering back about a challenge group or coaching or something in the future. So really make sure that you are reaching, not only just sending messages, but just that you're interacting in their life. Try to turn the tables and think about if somebody was doing that to you, if they were commenting on your stuff, or if you were commenting on their stuff, you'd want for them to answer you back. And if they weren't, you'd maybe kind of stop commenting or stop, interacting. But if they were interacting back with you, you're going to be more susceptible to comment and to share and to follow their journey and want to know, because you feel like they're a real person, like they're actually appreciating what you have to say. So think about that as well. Look at yourself, look at your Instagram, all your different social media sites, and how are you interacting with your followers? Are they seeing you as an individual, or are they seeing you just as this posting machine who doesn't ever interact back? People want to follow a journey and they want to actually feel like they know that person. And so that's something that I have done a lot of, or at least tried to create a good reputation for myself, where I answer people back, I answer emails back, I try to comment back or tag people in different posts and things. Try to just almost study the people that I follow that are in my community and really invest in that community of your followers. That is your network. So use it and relate and interact with it. If you are really feeling in a rut, here's another option. Try something new. Go listen to some trainings, or if you don't have a Fit page, create a fit page. Give yourself a new project. If you're not really using Instagram, listen to a couple Instagram videos and start using it. Start looking for some fun hashtags. Facebook, learn about the different dark posts and things that you can do on a fit page. Just try something new. Try Periscope. If you like videos, try creating a Periscope channel and then advertising that on your Facebook and your Instagram feed. Make videos daily. There's so many different things, and a lot of times when it's just become so mundane where we've just done the same thing over and over again every day, because this business is not complicated. We have these really simple things that we do every single day, and that's the thing that those are the things that can make us successful. But it can get mundane, and it can get, it feels very like rehearsed, and like we do the same thing, our powers of three every single day. And while that's okay, it's important for us to make it exciting and fun. Again, get excited about those people that you're talking to and reaching out to and following up with, and the new people you're inviting to different things. But also, if you're feeling in a rut, try something new. It might not work out and you might not like it, and that's okay. You can drop it later on. But try something that will give you some new momentum, some new excitement in your business. Another thing about post, be really heartfelt and just real. The more that I notice my coaches posting really heartfelt messages, whether it's sharing more about their journey or sharing a motivational quote, but also tying it to something that they've learned through that quote, not just sharing it and saying, here's a great quote, share about that. And that's what I try to do too. So for example, if I share a transformation picture of myself, I share a story about it. I want for people to know what's behind that picture. If I share a quote, I try to put a picture of me with it, or a picture of my family, my son, my husband, my dogs, whatever with it, and share something that goes along with those words that I'm sharing. It's not just words, but it's something that I've learned, something that has touched me, and I want to share why or how, that allows people to relate to me. One of the things that I have heard that makes me feel like that's something successful is from people that follow myself or any of my handles. They have said that they really like that I share my story with them. They feel like they know me when they talk to me, because I share, you don't have to share every single moment of your life with them, but whatever stage of your life that you're in, whether it's pregnancy or, a newlywed or a new mom or I don't know what else, a working mom or, whatever you are, being a girl boss. Those are all different stages of your life that you have the ability to share and to really be vulnerable with your posts. You don't always have to share extreme information, but let people know that you're a real person, that you have feelings, and that, you've got a story, you've got a journey. Let them hear about your life. That really allows them to know the person that you are. And through that, I have really seen that I have a lot of people who reach out to me because they relate to me. And then those end up being some of my best challengers, that some of them have become great friends of mine, actually, where we meet up and we hang out, or they become coaches, which is even more awesome because then they really get to know you. So really be heartfelt, and don't just focus on posting just to post, but put your post through that so what test. I don't remember what coach it was that talked about this, but I think it was in one of the Bring the Bling trainings. But they said that, think about your post, write it out, and then look at it and say, okay, so what? So what? Why would somebody care about that post? Why is that, helpful to anybody? So think about that. Think about what you're posting. If it's just something silly that has nothing to do with anything, then maybe don't post it because it's just worth nothing. Wait until you have something that's really, really powerful to share. And it doesn't have to be this long story every single day, but give people some feedback, give people something to think about. Ask questions on your posts. People love to give their opinions on posts. So ask questions, give them a charge, give them a challenge. Those are all really important things that can help to just spur your business on, help encourage involvement on your posts, and for your audience, your community, to really feel like they're interacting with you. Okay, another thing that I kind of mentioned before is just to lighten up. Days that you're feeling really, really stressed out or just kind of down in the dumps, we all have those days, whether it's because of the business or because of something else that kind of is just influencing everything in your day and just making you feel blah. We all have those days. I want for you to just close your computer and take a step away. Like I said, when you joined this business, you joined because you had a reason, you had a why, and you love helping people. You want to help people get fit and find happiness and freedom and fulfillment in their lives. If you are trying to operate from a mindset that is not there, then close your computer and take a couple steps back for a few days, or for a day, or for an hour, or whatever it may be. Because by the time you come back and you feel just like you've taken a deep breath, you've relaxed, you've recharged, that is when you're going to be able to really invest in people the best way that you can. You don't want this business to ever get to a point where you don't feel like it's fun and you feel stressed out and you feel like it's too much work that you're not enjoying. That's not why we are in this business. This business is, there are simple things that we have to do. Yes, it takes time and it takes commitment and consistency, but if you do them, they can be super powerful and bring so much success to your life. But you need to enjoy it. So remember why you're doing this. Remember the driving force behind it, and try to have, stick to having positive moments when you're working. The times that you get really down and just stressed out, take an hour and just step away and gather your thoughts back, reflect back on why you're doing this, and then come back to it so that you can operate from a better, more clear-minded point of view. It will help so, so much. I promise. I've done that a million times. And it really does help for you just to clear your head instead of sitting at your computer being frustrated for an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, and you've gotten nothing done. So that's a really just something that you should try to do on a daily basis if you ever feel like that. One of the last things I want to share is if you have not read Go for No, you need to. It talks all about the power of failing and the power of getting those no's and how those bring you success. And my baby is not going to last much longer. That is such an important part of this business. Failing is equaling success. I have 2 videos that I'm going to post below this one, and I'll also tag it in the post, that are really awesome and speak very much to this idea of gaining momentum from failing first. And even though it sounds sucky kind of to hear that and to hear that you've got to go through all these no's, I promise you that it is so powerful. A good no means not no for sure. It means just not now, maybe later. Hey, I'm still watching you, whatever it may be. So take that as a good thing. We're going to be doing a challenge in this team that I'm going to post about later, but we're going to do a Go for No challenge for the whole team, because I truly believe that the more no's that you get, that is how you're going to be more successful. It may feel awful to get a bunch of no's and a bunch of negative responses, but I promise you that it really does create more momentum. And eventually, sometimes those people who have heard the most no's are some of the most successful coaches in this business, which is crazy. So I encourage you to listen to that book, Go for No, or read it. It's really easy read. It's really tiny. And you can get it off Amazon or from any store. I have mine from Barnes & Noble, actually, and then you can get them off of Prime and get it the next day if you really need it that bad. So I really highly recommend that book. And then the last thing, actually, that's really it. So I just wanted to encourage you tonight just to, keep the faith and to keep doing what you know is true for this business. Really think about why you're here. You have a reason, and that is so, so important. So remember why you're doing this, and just remember that every single little step that you take is not setting you back. No matter what you're doing, if you are reaching out and you are doing your power of threes and you are investing in people and you are being honest and vulnerable and sharing your story with people, you are progressing further in your business and in your journey and just in your own personal life. For me, sharing every single day is an outlet for me. Getting to share my story and share my feelings and progress, and days that I have a bad day with the baby or days that I'm just exhausted. Those are all ways that really help me to grow as a person. They hold me accountable, and they also just help me to feel like, I'm just getting this out there and allowing people to hear my story. And through that, they're being able to relate to someone and know that they're not alone either in their own journey. So I encourage you to keep pushing forward If you have any questions or you need more advice, or if I forgot something, I have total mommy brain and forget most of the things that I want to say. But just be encouraged and know that you are doing a great job and that your hard work does pay off. It will pay off. It may not be as quickly as you want it to, but I promise you that it will eventually pay off. So thanks for listening. All right. Have a good night.